Since President Trump moved in nearly 8 weeks ago, he has more than tripled the number of paintings that you see hanging on the walls of the Oval Office. There's so many that there's almost not really any wall space left when you're inside the Oval. But the president hasn't stopped there. Also, in keeping with a style that he has adhered to for decades, there's a lot more gold inside the Oval Office. If you look above the mantle, there are several golden figurines lined across it. And often when the president is greeting a world leader sitting in those two chairs before the fireplace, you can see the golden medallions that are now in front of it. And if you look over to the tables, the side tables, you can see golden figurines of eagles placed there. If you look closely above the doors, the president actually had these golden cherubs shipped in from his Mar-a-Lago club in South Florida and has placed those there as well. I'm also told he's not stopping there. When you look outside the windows of the Oval Office to the Rose Garden, work is expected to start any day there now on Trump's effort to try to reshape it by essentially paving over the Rose Garden, that grassy area that you see where presidents hold ceremonies or press conferences. And he wants to make it more of a patio style and put pavers down and have it look essentially like where he holds court often at Mar-a-Lago with his friends and allies.
Yes, Donald Trump, who spent the first term as president spending all of his time in Mar-a-Lago, they called it the Southern White House, is now turning the White House into Northern Mar-a-Lago. And you can already see the effect of it. And I'm not an interior decorator or whatever, which apparently is Donald Trump's true passion. But I think it sucks. I think it looks worse. I'm not saying the Oval Office was the coolest room ever, but it looks terrible. It looks like a satirical play set about like a North Korean dictator or something. Just putting more gold on everything doesn't actually make it better. He is a 98-year-old man and he's never learned that lesson. Francesca, what do you think of the gold? What do you think of the paintings? What do you think about them paving over the Rose Garden?
I love all of this because it's so on brand Trump. The Oval Office just looks more like the Kremlin now. Like it really just is like, oh, we used to have a czar. It's like, no, we didn't. Like we used to have a king. No, we didn't. Like that's the entire point, of the United States gone. We're just gonna put all the gold as if we, yes, we colonized this country and expanded it in, genocided the natives, but like, it's as if we we're like mining in Bolivia and stuff, like we're the Spanish Empire, like that's the vibe. The other thing that they're doing is they want to put a ballroom in the White House, which is so tacky and amazing. And the idea that you would like constantly just have a ballroom is very like, Miss Havisham from Great Expectations, like waiting for your deceased husband to come home. I'm gonna put on my jewels and we're gonna go have a ball. Like it is so, and also, honey traps galore. I should probably get into the honey trap business. There's money.
Oh my God.
Give me them state secrets. So like, apparently he's claiming that also the Rose Garden's being paved over because the women's heels, they're just falling into it. Like, oh, you care about women? I'm sorry, you care about women's heels sinking in. Is it because they're not sinking far enough into the grass? Like, don't you want them just to completely disappear? Like, it's just so corny and perfectly fitting.
It's corny and ugly. The dude just desperately wants to have a certain sort of image. He just doesn't get it. Some people just don't get it. The dude has worn suits for 80 years. He doesn't know to get them tailored. He's worn ties for 80 years. He doesn't know what length it's supposed to have. He doesn't have taste and he never will. So they're gonna do this ballroom. By the way, we don't have a photo of it, but like Google the ballroom at Mar-a-Lago. It's ugly. He doesn't know. He just doesn't have any taste whatsoever. I do know this though, and this I think really gets to the populism of the MAGA movement. Trump is an everyman. That's why he puts golden eagles on everything. This ballroom is gonna be based on the Hall of Mirrors at Versailles. Man of the people
exactly.
Stuff. He's turning the White House into Versailles. Oh, and all of you regular MAGA people are gonna be invited to these balls, these gala events that Donald Trump is. And also, by the way, I'm glad that they've apparently saved so much money and waste, fraud, and abuse that they can afford to just turn the White House into Versailles if they want to. This is totally about cost cutting, this movement. I can really see that now. Anyway, we're gonna move on in a sec, but I will say it's a big turn from the first term. The renovations there were being led by Melania, but I think it really makes sense that he would be taking over the renovations, since my assumption would be that over the next 4 years, Melania isn't gonna spend even 5 minutes in the White House. Why would she? It's only where her husband lives, so why would she be choosing any of this stuff? It's an interesting marriage.